Hi there. So I've got a piece, actually a couple pieces of ceramic here that have broken, or I'm sorry, that have fallen and have glaze faults. So this one was too top heavy, and so during the firing it tipped over. And what we've got now is it's stuck to a biscuit. I've ground the biscuit off so it's not sharp, but it's got this area where the glaze is covered by a broken part of biscuit that was protecting the shelf. I've also got a part down here where the glaze, it's stuck to the shelf, and a bit of the pottery, a bit of the clay or ceramic popped off. And so we're looking at raw clay that the glaze is removed from. So here we have glaze covered, here we have glaze removed. The result in both cases is it doesn't look right? It looks white when it should look blue, for example, down here where you can see it real well. You can refire this if you have access to a kiln, but this particular piece is going to have the same problem. It's going to want to tip over again. And so what we can do now is we can really get close to matching that, particularly for non-functional work. You don't really want to put acrylic inside of work that you're going to eat out of. But for something like this, I can use some acrylic paints, and I can pretty closely match the color by mixing acrylics. Doesn't matter what brand. You can buy these at Home Depot, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, places like that, craft supply stores. And doesn't matter what brand, just little containers of acrylic paints. I have a bunch of just kind of random ones, and so I haven't matched the color ahead of time. I'm going to mix colors. I've got a little lid here that I'm going to use to mix colors. I also have acrylic medium. This is gloss acrylic medium, which you can buy at the same kind of store, and you don't have to buy a huge one. And this will give a shiny look to the surface. So I'm going to mix some of these glazes, some of these paints in here. And I shouldn't need a lot. In fact, that one just squirted out way faster than I needed it to. I've got some brushes so I can work on mixing these colors. And I might use a little bit of surprising colors to mix with it. So right now, if I were to paint this on, it's going to be close, actually. Let me paint that on so we can take a peek. It's close to the color, but obviously the texture's wrong. And this color from the glaze is variegated, right? It has different kinds of colors mixed together. So I like to match that when I'm mixing, when I'm trying to paint stuff into there. And so I'm going to add a little bit of white. These are all old paints, so hopefully I will be able to add a little bit of white. Maybe not. And that little bit of white that I add into there is going to help me match the color. Oops, that's a metallic. I got a weird assortment of things here. That little bit of color is going to help me match the variegation in the original. I can also, I'm going to see if I can just dab some out of here. There we go. And so I can mix that directly into the paint like this, or I can mix it kind of directly onto the object. And so now we're closer. We're still pretty bright, so I'm going to add a little bit of that unmixed dark blue. And I'm getting closer. The shine's still not right, but I'm getting closer to matching kind of the character of that original. Looks like my blue may not be dark enough, so I'm going to add in some green or purple maybe. Oh, that is not very dark. To make it a little bit darker. This looks like a nice dark green. We'll see what happens here. Ooh. They're old, so I got to mix them. That one just had the color separated out from it. So I'm going to add in a little bit of that green to the blue and see if I get it dark enough to do what I want it to do. To make it kind of have some more variation in it. It's getting closer. I might need to go searching out a purple. But the nice thing now is that even before I go search out a black or a purple to fill this in, it's starting to have that kind of variation that the original glaze has. You can, I'm doing this fairly fast, partly because you don't want to watch a super long video, but also I'm not super carefully going and finding all my glazes or my paints ahead of time. You may want to go buy paints that do what you actually need them to do. I'm kind of making do with what I have here. I may go look for a black in the other room. This one's dried out. But right now I've got that fairly closely matched. I'm gonna let it dry all the way, and then I'm gonna put the gloss medium on the surface. In the meantime, I don't think I'll have you, I think I'll do this without the video. I'm gonna get some browns and I'm gonna work on matching this. I'm gonna get some white and kind of really light brown and work on matching some of this.